The peaceful sounds of a seamstress at work. Hi friends, I haven't seen you all since last year. One of my absolute favorite things to do in video form is to try to find old who's-its and what's-its and try to figure out how they work. I suppose not unlike an orangutan being presented with a BlackBerry 8700 from 2006. And so this video, my friends, is no different. Let me show you.
Shing, sparkle, sparkle.
Voila. I found this at a local antique store and I've been a little too nervous to actually see if it works. Slow roll into 2024. Let's do it. The Super Stitch. Portable sewing machine, battery operated, includes needle threader and starter spool, light touch speed control. Tried to look this up online, to no avail. I could not find any information about it, only people selling it on eBay for $10, which I am almost positive I spent more than that. Fucking doped! From 1973, let's open this baby up. Wow. Here she is. I will attest, she does feel quite portable. No idea what any of these doohickeys do as of right now, but that's what this video is for. Hold it like that. Little buttons here, I'm assuming that's what makes it go. Oh, did I lose the string? Well, I was hoping to keep that in there so I could know how this thing is threaded, but I guess we're just gonna figure it out. So to operate this baby, I need 4 D batteries. I cannot tell you the last time I needed D batteries, and I'm honestly shocked they still make them. If I can open this. Come on. Melon. Nerve-wracking part of this being, will this actually work with said batteries, or am I just gonna have to scrap this entire video? I don't know. Wow, here's gonna. Heart is racing. All right, a moment of truth. A thing of beauty. It's a little hefty because of the D batteries, but it's not bad. I can see this still being portable and only giving me a little bit of carpal tunnel. Let's try to figure out how to thread this and maybe do like a test scrap. Okay. Big brain time. Okay, so I got this whole sticky outy bit. Nailed it. And then this goes through here. Oh, okay, that's under the hook guide. The hook guide. And around the tension unit. That's what I like to call my body. I'm doing it like a glove. My brain cells feel like they just attended Spice Girls boot camp. Okay, let's do a test. Let's give it a go. That sounds atrocious. Oops. Okay. So on one side, it's just a straight stitch, but on the other side, it almost looks like a chain stitch. It seems pretty strong. I am jazzed. Next mission, let's make an entire garment with this thing. To do that, we're gonna figure out what I actually want to make, fabric and patterns. What I wanna make. All right, partners, because I still haven't outgrown my need to be Maria from Sound of Music, I'm gonna go more Dirndl with this. And because I am an absolute squire when it comes to flouncy sleeves, I wanna add those as an extra little bonus. The idea is put forth, let's find out what we're gonna make this out of. And off to the stash, because I need to figure out what we're gonna make this out of. I'm not buying anything new for this project because I have a problem where I keep buying pretty fabrics and then I simply look at them. So we're gonna change that, and we're actually, novel idea, going to be using the fabric that I scrounged. So I do want this to be sort of Scandinavian inspired. I feel like I had a pretty fabric that I found once. Where did I put it? Put this down as a contender. Well, even though I'm taking a big ol' L on that fabric. Let's talk about patterns. So I'm gonna use this Dirndl pattern on the left for the bodice, and then this pattern that I've used before for the sleeves. Now kiss. Because I'm really only using this one piece from this pattern, it was pretty easy to navigate and find it. And then I'm picking up after myself as I go along, because that's part of my New Year's resolution, and I give it about 72 hours before I once again become an F5 on the Fujita scale. Then it was time to cut out the Dirndl pattern, which is extremely boring, so with the grace and mercy of editing, here you go. So the Dirndl itself, lemon juice. We only got the front, the back, and then the two facings. For a project such as this, bodes well. The less sewing that I need to do on this infernal contraption. And then we have the sleeves. Easy. So now that means that I need to lay out the fabric, get to chopping. Let's go. Oh, you said chopping. I thought you said Chopin. Ha 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 ha. There's no way I haven't tried that bet on this channel yet, right? As I was pinning, it dawned on me that I should probably test the thickness of this fabric and make sure that it actually works. As I feared, the fabric was far too girthy. That is okay, we persevere with these thrift store curtains instead. Popping that $5 price tag. After that day of mental gymnastics, I decided that tomorrow will be the day we start fresh. You know you're a sloucher when you have to compensate for that when you set up your camera frame. No, we're down here. So something I noticed, because the loops on the bottom are kind of a little loose, I guess. It's just like not quite as tight as, say, a normal sewing machine. And I don't know if that's because of me. Am I the problem? What I think I might do for the invisible seams anyways is go over once, flip it over, go over it twice, just to be sure, which is kind of annoying, but this is generally an experiment, but I also, I would like this shirt to come out well. I have got hesitant confidence. I'm dressed like I'm ready for house mice to sing my praises. So that's all that anyone can ask for, right? So as I mentioned before, there really isn't that much sewing needed on this garment, which is, I have pinned the darts, this side, and then this side. It should make a nicely fitting bust. Easy now. A bit more structurally sound than the other thing did, so I'm happy with that. I'm nervous something's going to go wrong. What you got in store for me, universe? I can feel you lurking over my shoulder. It's quite hard to get a straight line. See, the problem is it doesn't really finish the seam at the end. I can just like pull it out, which is not ideal. Get in there, you wiener! No. I wish there was some sort of backward stitch. Ooh, I super stitch. Oh, I. The only way I can like successfully do that is if I rip it out, which is definitely not what you're supposed to do. Rip. I always wonder with kind of novelty items like this, if it's one of those things. Someone opened it, used it for maybe 6 minutes, put it back in the box, never to be even breathed upon again. And then here I am, decades later, making a YouTube video about it as if it is a lost civilization that I just discovered. I thought that with my grandma's knitting machine that I found and I made a video on. Feels like the weirdest instrument ever. She's definitely the kind of person that probably opened it and was like, faith. Put it back down in the basement. Confound, flabbing, modern machinery. She was not Southern. Now that I've got the darts, we cut these, press them, and then we can start putting the sections of the bodice together, which should be exciting, in theory. Visually, probably not so much. regardless of how prickly this was, it was important to try it on beforehand and make sure that everything fit like a glove before I started actually sewing it. And then I got to work and started realizing the limits of this machine pretty quickly. Damn it. Aside from its inability to go over something the thickness of more than 1 millimeter, it actually did quite well. Turns out I was supposed to do the facings before I attached any of the bodice pieces, and that's on disregarding the instructions almost immediately. I've sewed the facings together, and now I need to attach to the blouse and sew, which is going to be a lot for this little machine. Right side out, take the facings inside out. Now we're just gonna match up all the edges. It feels nice to be making actual garments that I can wear. Just lately, I don't know what I want to wear anymore. Essentially, I just open my closet, and I hate to admit it, but I become quite verbally abusive to it. Problem is, what I want to wear changes so drastically per day. Sometimes I want to be a stinky prospector. Sometimes I want to be dollar store Florence Welch. Sometimes I want to dress in full medieval garb. My style is essentially a mystery grab bag of discarded aesthetics, which is why I like making my clothing so much, because what I want sometimes just doesn't exist. The limit doesn't exist, except the limit is the Renaissance grandpa outfit of my dreams. We are going to attempt to sew all along this whole thing with this bad girl. Weird. Somehow saying bad girl versus this bad boy feels unnatchy. Now, surprisingly, even though I tensed my entire body up when it came to this thicker seam, it went over it fine, which required a small burst of victory screech. And then it was time for the sleeves, which I had already pressed over a double hem, and I was not so lucky. And so with my tail tucked between my legs, I headed over to my machine. As you saw, we had a little bit of a kerfuffle. It's cool, it's fine, I didn't lose my head. But I did finish that on my sewing machine, and I also joined the sleeves. Because I simply could not be bothered. Bell-bottom-esque sleeves, and they're quite cute. I'm wondering if when I need to gather this to attach it to the bodice, I don't know if this has quite the ferocity. If it couldn't even handle a double folded hem, I don't know that it's got the chops. I'm gonna pin it to this, and maybe I might be pleasantly surprised. Or in this outfit, peasantly surprised. It may look like this is wildly infuriating to use, but I suppose if I could give it any compliment, it's that it's not as annoying as I thought it would be. Instead of wildly annoying, it's mildly annoying, which is all any of us can ever hope to be. Towards this is pretty thick. I don't think it's gonna be able to handle it. We'll see. That was my bad. Hello? I can literally hear spring birds outside. My good dudes, it's December. Planet Earth, what the fuck? All right, we're coming up to the first gather. This is riveting content. Ah! I made it over the first gather. I hate you! As expected, she couldn't do it, friends. She couldn't. She tried her very best, but she exhausted. Back on over to my sewing machine. WOOF. I gotta say, if anything, this project has made me appreciate my sewing machine. That's my girl. Oh yeah, so sturdy. She can sew through anything. So there you go. If you're ever feeling frustrated with your sewing machine. Try using a portable one from the 70s and you'll come crawling back. Flowers and a mixtape in tow. Baby, come back. To finish this up, I tried to be a fancy seamstress and use math. What's 9 divided by 5?
It's 1.8.
Realized that didn't help me a single bit, so I just put the buttons 2 inches apart. Use my machine for buttonholes because I love technology. All right, let's do some buttons. I got a little nervous because I could only find 4 of these wooden buttons that I use for literally everything. But then I figured, because I use these so often, I gotta have them somewhere else in the house. And so I started scrounging, and I was right, I found one more. I pretty much live my life that way. If I ever am in need of a sewing pin or a bobby pin, I take to the floor. 7 times out of 10, I'll find one. The stove is so crackly. Oh, it's crazy that this is my first video of 2024. I cannot believe that it's the new year already. I feel like the normal thing to do would be making like what to expect from 2024 for content. It ain't gonna change much, baby. New year, same me. I'll just keep doing my thing, making cool stuff. Keep doing house projects. I would love to do more collabs this year. In general, I feel like I work better when I can like bounce dialogue off of other people and not just, you know, having conversations with myself and my camera, as I am ought to do. I think I got a little swept up in making a lot of big makes last year, and while I loved every second of that, try to aim for only one relatively big make per month. While I won't say I'm burnt out, I will say last year did throw me for a loop trying to get things done in time, and for my own sanity, I think I should probably limit it to maybe not so many. I just want to bring a little comfort to this side of the internet, you know? I also am hopefully going to bring a little bit more short form content. I definitely prioritize longer form, but I think if I have some extra time here and there, I do have some ideas for shorter form content, whether that be skits, short tutorials or something. But yeah, I don't know, keep an eye out for that, I guess. The content overlords demand short form video content. As stressful as this job can be sometimes, I often step back and realize how freaking lucky I am. November, we hit 5 years of being a full-time YouTuber, and I cannot even process that. I can remember just being so scared, didn't think that it was actually gonna work. I don't know, man. This whole thing is just a dream come true, and I am so grateful. And I was even thinking about it during my little holiday break from social media. The fact that I was actually excited to go back to filming and make this video. Let me tell you, when I had a desk job, I wasn't looking forward to going back to work, ever. I just love you. Anyway, I suppose I should talk about this in a video, but I am going to be guesting at MegaCon Orlando, February 1st through 4th. If you would like to come meet me, receive a hug, I will be there all 4 days. I will have a booth, have a few panels, and I'd love to meet you. I'm gonna finish buttoning this project up. Pun absolutely and wholeheartedly intended. Sneep! She's ready for the reveal. Let's roast this bad boy. So first of all, the finished garment. Oh, I'm chuffed. I think it's really stinking cute. I don't know, it's pretty simple. I normally don't do quite as simple garments in videos, but I kind of had fun really focusing my attention and effort on this one thing. So I could really, you know, finish my seams, make everything symmetrical and look nice. Who would have thought? There's not much going on. It's just a very simple bodice, simple sleeves, but I really, really love how it came out. I will totally wear this all the time. It's not too tight. I can eat as many snacks as I want in this baby and not feel constricted. That being said, let's talk about the machine. Will I be using this again? Possibly. As a normal alternative to a sewing machine, not a chance. If I were traveling, if I were going to a convention where maybe I had a fear that something was going to rip, I hadn't finished a certain thing, I can see how this would come in handy. Which leads me into the many downfalls of this. The downfall of us all. At least in my experience, you can really only do the thinnest slice of fabric. Once you start folding over or having seams that are a little bit chunkier, it quits. It does not want anything to do with it. So I wouldn't even really use this for hemming or anything like it says on the box. For me, it's just joining two pieces of fabric together, or a French seam or invisible seam, and that's it. I like the size. I think it's pretty ergonomic. I think they make better ones these days. For an old machine that just needs 4 ginormous batteries, it's not that bad. My final review is, I don't hate it that much. I thought it was fun. I really enjoy finding weird gadgets. There's a reason that portable sewing machines maybe haven't caught on. First video of 2024, buckaroos. So much fun stuff planned for this year and I'm so excited. Ready for another year, friends? Yeehaw! I will be at MegaCon February 1st through 4th if you're interested. Also, if you want extras, live streams, bonus videos, patreon.com/RachelMaxey, $5 a month if you want. I love you whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every other Friday and we have fun here. And I was stifling a burp that entire outro. You're welcome. I will see you in my next video. Bye! Excuse me, ma'am. My house trying to heat itself. Sounds like we are actually in a rusty submarine. Trash man, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. This wig is definitely making me feel like Merida mixed with Miss Frizzle. If you had the chance to ride a magic school bus, would you? I would like to apologize on behalf of all of Scottish people everywhere. What a wonderful world. God, the sun, don't know what to do.